Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike here, bringing you my very first Pokemon Showdown Cap battle. Cap stands for Create a Pokemon. It's a project that Smogon does where the community gets together and makes a competitive Pokemon. So it's pretty cool. Most of the caps do tend to be pretty broken, but you know, that kind of happens. But it's something completely new that I'd never tried before, and I thought it would be fun since I'm really just playing for funsies now anyhow. I don't take any kind of battling too seriously. I figured this would be a cool opportunity to try something new. So in this match I am going to be up here at the top, and before we get started I'm going to go through the caps that we're seeing here, talk about what they do if I know what they do, because I don't even know what some of them do, and just catch you guys up a little bit if you're not familiar with what's going on. So this is my team. As you can see, I have a Dragonite and a Gengar. They're pretty standard. Because I don't know anything about the metagame, I just put sub-disable Gengar on my team because he's amazing and he's like my favorite. Anyhow, he's my favorite Pokemon and he's really good when you don't know what you're doing. So I went with him. And then Dragonite, just because why not? I changed Dragonite out later, but he was in here for this one. And then I have these four guys who are all caps. And let's see if I can remember their names. This giant Norwhale of Doom here is Colossoil. He is a ground and dark type. And mine is Choice Scarfed. This little guy is Krillawatt. He is water and electric. He's basically a much better version of Lantern, so he immediately shot way up because Lantern by itself is really good, and this guy is a better version of him. And he has Wonder Guard, so he doesn't take damage from stuff. This is Tomahawk. He is a flying fighting, which is something for some reason Pokemon itself has not made yet. It's an amazing typing, and he's a really good utility guy. He has kind of a decent special attack and really good bulk, and he gets Stealth Rocks and Rapid Spin, so he's very good for utility, and that's what he's used on my team for. And then this last one here, this is Necturna. She is a plant and ghost type, and she is basically the reason I decided to give Cap a try. I kind of followed the thread where she was created a few caps ago, and I think the design and the idea is just amazing. She's based on a Japanese shrine maiden, but a ghost and a plant. And her gimmick is that she learns Sketch, but only once. So she has a pretty limited move pool, and then one move that could be anything. So my version is actually running Soak. I think that's kind of a fun gimmick. You can use Soak to turn anything into a pure water type and then hit it super effectively with your grass attacks. So I thought that looked like fun. Moving down here to my opponent's team, we got a few other guys to talk about. We have another Necturna here. This is Kitsuno, who is a ghost and steel type that was meant to be a scout but just turned out to be really, really good. It's real fast and fairly strong, and it gets its own special, unique move called Shadow Strike, I believe, which is like a super souped up version of Night Slash, only dark type. So I've got him. We got another Krillawatt. This is Mollusk, I believe it's its name. It's fire and rock? Fire and something else. I don't even know its typing or what it was supposed to do. I don't know anything about this guy except that he's part fire type and he's a lava lamp. And we've got another Tomahawk, and then this is Moth Face. I forget his name. I just had it in my mind, but now it's gone. So he was the most recent one, and apparently he's really broken. It was supposed to take advantage of crappy types, so he's Bug Psychic, but then they gave him awesome moves and stats, so he is super threatening. He's the only reason I'm running Colossoil, because Colossoil is a decent check with a Scarf, at least I think. I don't remember how fast he is, but I think a Scarf Colossoil can still outspeed him, so that's why I have that, and then I can Pursuit kill him. So anyhow, let's get into the match and see how it goes. He's going to lead with Tomahawk. I predicted that because Tomahawk makes a really good lead, so I'm going to lead with the Shadow. Gengar set up a sub, because that's what you do. He shows me that he wants to stay in, and I'm really not worried about that at all. I'm almost positive he'll only have one move that can hit me, and he does show that he has Hurricane, which is a little odd since he doesn't have Rain. I guess he feels like taking a risk, but he actually misses it, and I'm able to disable it, and once that happens, I am golden. I can just sit behind my sub all day. And there, Oromoth, that's its name, Mothface, the Oromoth. He switches that in basically as death fodder. That didn't serve any purpose. Gengar is clearly faster. So he completely wastes it, and that is his biggest threat gone right away. Krillwatt comes in after that. I know that I can get one free attack in, and then I'm going to have to switch out. So I go into Ikiro, the Nocturna, who dies to a what I'm assuming is a Life Orb boosted Ice Beam, and that was bad. I wasted my Nocturna. So I can go into Colosso, though. I thought he would switch, so I go for the U-turn. He ends up staying in, but that's fine. I can go into Dazzler, the Krillwatt of my own, block the damage, and then take him out with an Earthquake. I do run a mixed Krillwatt set to catch people off guard, so I bring Nocturna in. I bring Hiawatha, the Tomahawk, in against Nocturna. I know it can't do much. And then he brings Kitsuno in. I don't really know what it wants to do, but I know Hiawatha's bulky, so I stay in just to kind of scout. He shows me that he does get Ice Punch, which, who knew? Everything gets Ice Punch. I should have guessed, but I forget Ice Punch exists, and then I get killed with it. So luckily I don't take too much damage from it there. And he ends up back into Tomahawk. Every time that thing comes in, it's a free switch in for the Shadow. He could hit me with a Hurricane coming in, but I'm not too worried about it. I guess I'm willing to risk it. Anyhow, I predicted him not to use it there, and it pays off. And here I predict him switching out, knowing that I'll go for the disable, so instead I go for the double sub. That works out great because I get a sub up on Kitsuno. That means that he can't kill me, and at that point he just quits. So that is going to be the first match, and that was actually my very first battle in Cap, so I did pretty well for not knowing what anything does. But let's go ahead and move on to the second one. In this match, there's actually not a whole lot of guys to introduce. My opponent is playing Cap, but he's not using any Caps, which is a little odd. On top of that, he has a really strange team. He's got a lot of UU guys, the Blastoise, the Archeops, Ditto. So, you know, overall, not too worried. Breloom is always threatening just because it's freaking Breloom, but Nocturna should counter it pretty effectively since it's immune to fighting and resists the grass. And then I've also got Tomahawk to help deal with it as well. So Breloom not nearly as scary in Cap as he is in regular OU. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get into the match. I again lead with Gengar because it's what you do. I'm not in a hurry to get my hazards up. I know I'll get Hiawatha in at some point to get them up, and he actually is going to lead with Fortress, so yeah, I'm not too worried about him setting up a bunch of hazards because, again, I can spin with Hiawatha, so he does predict the disable nicely here and gets up a layer of Toxic Spike. So at that point I decide, alright, well, time to get some spinning going on. He doesn't have a Ghost, so I'm not going to have a problem doing that at all. I negate his first 4 turns like they were nothing, and that's why Tomahawk is good. So now I'm going to take time to get my own Stealth Rocks up. I don't know why. Clearly Fortress can just spin them away, but I didn't think about that. So I'm going to Air Slash his Tomahawk as it comes in, and, well, his Ditto, who turns into Tomahawk, and that is going to waste him. Apparently Tomahawk doesn't have the best special defense. But then I, in turn, get obliterated by a Flying Gem Acrobatics from Archeops, and that hurts a lot. However, it's kind of a one and done. After he's blown his load, I can just Shadow Ball him, get that Defeatist going, and then Rock Slide doesn't do much damage. So Breloom comes in. I'm not sure why, but I'm just going to Shadow Ball it and get a ton of damage. And then he goes for Leech Seed, and the Toxic Orb activates, which means he's running the old school Breloom instead of the Mach Punch Sweeper that we know now. He's running the bulky subset, and that one is even easier to deal with, which is fine by me, on top of the fact that this team really doesn't have a problem with Breloom to begin with. Fortress comes back in. He tries to do some stuff, but no, Hiawatha's not having any of that, and he brings Blastoise in for okay. I didn't really want to take a Ice Beam, though, so I'm going to switch out into Dazzler, who walls Blastoise nicely, as he sets up a Rain Dance as I switch in my Water type. So that's fine with me. I don't mind that. And Right now I'm actually kind of bluffing the choice item. I'm just going for Thunderbolts because I can. He's helping me out by bringing in things that are weak or will die to it. So I'm just going to keep with that. And yeah, Dazzler is basically going to just wreck his team in the bumhole. And that is going to be the match. So those are going to be my first two Cap matches. Pretty interesting matches. I think all the matches are interesting just because I don't know what I'm doing or what's going on, but pretty fun. I would highly encourage you guys to give it a try if you're looking for something new and you're kind of bored with the regular tiers. And yeah, I'm going to probably try and take some more of these and maybe intersperse them with some actual matches too, but for the time being I'm really enjoying Cap, so we'll see where that goes. Anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Check out the links I have in the description. Feel free to leave me a comment, especially if it pertains to Cap or things I should know about it. That would be really helpful, and I will have more coming your way shortly. Thanks, guys.